am so honored to be joined here today by Stellar Fairbairn in Northern Ireland, County Antrim. Hello, Stellar.
Hi, Erin Sonoma. How are you, darling? Lovely to
I'm
see
very good. Very well, thank you. So Stellar is a sacred songstress, a teacher, and a mentor. She's been a professional singer for 30 years and most importantly, recently focused on the healing virtues of music. And she's a leader and a pioneer in singing in the tuning of 432 and is constantly sharing the gifts of that aspect. She leads tours, sacred tours in Ireland, in France, and next year in Egypt. So stay connected with her if you feel called. I had the honor to enter into Stellar's life, or she entered into mine, who knows. We blessed each other 3 years ago when I went to Ireland for the first time, and she took me on a private tour of the glens of Antrim and totally blasted open my heart, and showed me what she does, activating sites through sound, through her voice. And myself being a singer, I was just astounded at the way that the earth and the elements and the spirits there just showed up and responded to the gift of sound coming through her. So we're here today to talk about that, to talk about how and what we do at these very special ancient sites. So welcome everyone, and let's get on our way.
Thank you so much, Erin. What a lovely introduction. Thank you very much. And it's been an absolute honor and pleasure to have you in Ireland. And also we ventured to Norway and France together as well. And it'll be Egypt next year. So it's been wonderful to have you and to host you and to hear your beautiful voice and what you do. And it's just been a perfect compliment for the work that I do as well. So yeah, I mean, when we're working with the sacred sites, there's so much going on. If I could kind of go back as to why we created these sacred sites in the first place, it was to remember the resonance and the relationship between the cosmos and Earth. And a lot of these stone circles are like combs of cosmic energy as the earth rotates, or whatever, whatever, if it's a globe or a flat thing, whatever, it's combing these cosmic energies into the ley lines and the telluric fields. So the telluric field is like the morphogenetic field where it's the unseen world, but it's deeply affected by sound. And of course, sound can't be seen unless you're looking at a cymatic microscope, or you're looking at cymatics on water or something like that. That makes sound look visible. And that's a really big education, actually, is looking at the science of sound to see how it affects the water in our cells and how it affects the environment around us. This vibrant, amazing environment, which really responds to the human voice, number one, and responds to 432 hertz because it is the frequency of nature. So really, when I go to sacred sites, there's various different things that are being done. And what you're setting up now with this island's Ascendants is so important because people are being called to come to this island, which is one of the most important pivotal places on the planet to make change. Yeah. And all gatherings seem to be happening here this year. It's really interesting. So if you're sitting on the fence and you're feeling the call, it's time to step up now, because this island is incredibly powerful. Ireland and Egypt are on a power together, and they're very, very connected ley line wise. So when I go to sacred sites, I'm working with the energy field of the site. I'm working with a specific purpose that it was put there for. And then I'm looking at the intervals and ratios between the stones. I'm connecting in with all the different mathematical formulas, if you like, in the space itself. And that's all kind of done in an unseen way, but it's done with song. And when we connect in with these sites, they're like battery sources. They're capacitors of energy that then feed these ley lines. So if we want to make changes, it's a beautiful thing to go and sing your heart into these lines, into these telluric fields. And, some of the specific purposes I've had in Norway and in France specifically last year was to anchor the divine feminine codes into Earth again, because obviously there's so much that we do with sound. And then this year coming is to bring the Heaven and Earth template in to that. So it's calling the dreamers. So for your retreat, it's about calling in the dreamers, the weavers, the wisdom keepers, the people who have these abilities and capacities to sing in tone and have these wonderful memories and intentions through all their lifetimes to bring to this island.
Right. And to
It's very
remember,
important work. Very
well, and
important.
to remember all of those, you know, all of these really important aspects of the ways that we have been so powerful and connected to the land in the past, to reweave that into the present.
Yeah, big time. And the time is now. This year is the master year. It's an 11 year. So it's calling the mastery of those ones to be called to step up. And this island is so important. You know, there's so much going on here right now. Everybody's coming here. Because, I mean, if you look at the bedrock of Ireland, it's like quartz and amethyst and rose quartz. It's an amplifier. It's a massive amplifier. Some people say it's the last part of Atlantis that's still above water. I mean, there's all sorts of speculations. But all you have to do is go into your heart and discern what the truth is. And I know, living on this island and traveling up and down between the north and the south, you know, to me there's no difference. There's no border, you know, there's no north and south. It's one island to me, without politics. I don't get involved with politics or religion or anything like that. To me, it's an island. When I look at it from a satellite image, it's an island. And because it's so powerful, you know, there has been this thing to separate it in a way. And there's now a time of bringing this island into union. So it's an important time for people to show up with their skills and their abilities. And there's no better person to lead them than you, because you're waking all these incredible people up to their skills and their abilities, and you're using your sacred divine voice to do that. So I'm very proud of how you have achieved all of that in the last 3 years, and how you've really stepped up into your mastery. So it's going to be amazing. And I really hope I'm able to pop along for a couple of the days and work with the sound and work with your participants, in co-creation with you, you know, in those activations, which will be amazing.
Yeah, that will be great. Well, I have had a wonderful teacher in you, Stellar.
Thank you, darling. I'll pay
We're
you
a
later.
good team. We're a good team, and you are most certainly welcome to join us at any point along our tour. We are focusing in County Meath and Kildare for the first part, to connect to that sacred fire and water with Bridget, and then heading to as close as we can get to the Michael line, in the Ring of Kerry, and
Barra, yeah.
yeah, Barra and Skellig Michael.
Wow.
Whew, yeah, I know I get all like giddy whenever.
Let's talk about that line, because it's really interesting and it's been cleaned up recently, and a lot of work has been done on that. A lot of people that I know personally have worked there, and I've done my own work with them, and you know, mutual friends that we know, Aaron Cinema.
Mm-hmm.
And what you've got there is the Atlantean spiral that comes up through the island of Skellig Michael, and then it runs down through the tip of Kerry, down and through Barra, goes all the way down through Europe, through, you know, sacred points where there are churches built in Italy. Then it runs through Delphi, through the Athena temple. So it's actually known as the Athena Apollo line, but it you know, for me, it's the Atlantean connection into Palestine and Israel. And of course, you can see where that line has created so much chaos. You know, the powers that were, if you like, were very clever about the nodal points on Earth and where they created the most discourse, because of course that affects the whole Earth's energy and it affects the Earth grid. So, you know, our work is to come and reclaim that. Nobody's going to do it for us. What we have to do is reclaim our sovereignty in that respect, and our sovereignty is through our voice and through our heart. And yeah, I mean, it's been quite difficult of recent years to get onto Skellig because of the Star Wars movies. Of course, you know, Hollywood would be going in there too and doing their thing. So even if you don't get on the island, you can still get there's places in Barra where you can go and stand on the line and work with I would say the Archangel Michael energies there. Very powerful to call that energy in and to sing that energy. So yeah, I mean, beautiful, stunning. It's so funny. I'd only been looking at Bera, and Bera's like 25 stone circles on the space of like 12 miles or something ridiculous. It's like, it's just an absolute crucible for the divine feminine. And of course, my lineage comes from this ancient mother line from Lemuria, from the original time here on Earth when, you know, everything was in a different dimensional field. And then, of course, we built these sacred sites in honor of the goddess and in honor of the divine feminine in balance, because, of course, everything was in balance back then. And now it's a case of everything has, you know, patriarchy's had its go. We've seen how the matriarchy didn't work on its own. We've seen how the patriarchy didn't really work on its own. So now it's time to bring the two together and balance and walk together. Yeah. So, you know, men and women, it's important. Come on your trip. We need some baritone voices, I'm sure, for some of those stone circles. And, you know, it's a beautiful time to come and reseed the love in our hearts. You know, that the earth needs it. Love is one of the most rarest commodities on the planet right now. And the more we can bring love into those telluric fields and lines and sacred sites, the more the planet can feel us that we're, you know, we're in support of her.
Mm-hmm. Can you talk about what's happening with you when you sing, when you're connecting to those energies?
Sure. I mean, I'm pulling stuff through from a pretty high dimension, and I get Stella out of the way. I should tell her to go and have a long holiday, bilocate off somewhere else, and then I just become a conduit, if you like, or a crucible for those energies to come through. So I'm not actually totally aware intellectually of what's going on, but when I'm in my heart, I actually don't know what's going on, but I know that it's extremely powerful. And that goes the same for all of my work. You're really in the heart, and you're singing from your soul, singing from that ascended place, and anchoring that in. And it's really just about getting oneself out of the way. And when it's lovely when you're in a group, because you can create harmonics, much like we did in Norway. Do you remember we went to that series of, I don't know how many stone circles there were, like 9 stone circles going up a hill? It was an incredible place. And it was the first time we'd all sounded together. I think it was the first day that we were there. And we had a lovely baritone voice, and we had some sopranos and everything in between. And we just came together and did this amazing sounding. And it was just nothing like it. It was absolutely amazing. So I don't remember thinking about it. I just remember doing it and being in complete harmony. And that's what this time is about. It's about creating harmony and being in your joy and being in all the qualities of the heart. So I would take in the qualities of, you know, love, compassion, empathy, joy, praise, grace, gratitude. You know, all the qualities of the heart. There's 144 qualities of the heart. And really, I don't need to know all of them off by heart, but I know the resonance of what they are. And then I'm able to sing those out into the earth.
I have so many good memories of Norway. I mean, of all of them, of all of the tours we've done. But often, many little bits and pieces of Norway come back, and that is, you know, the most poignant is, you know, those interdimensional aspects that really show up. You know, when we're activating through sound, it's just, it penetrates everything, you know. And if we look at the scientific aspect of how sound affects our bodies and activates the full brain, and, you know, causes the whole body to really respond. You know, and if you're doing it in a circle and everybody's toning together, then all of our hearts start to beat at, you know, in the same rhythm. There's so many things that are happening on the physical level. But even beyond that, interdimensionally, we were visited by fairies. We were, you know,
The elemental kingdom came out. Yeah, I mean, it was like, when we're in that, I call it the sympathetic resonance of the earth, then everything can show up. It makes magic. You know, it's like every realm can be made present, whether it's in your mind's eye or in your heart, or whatever experience you have. So it's about, yeah, when we create that harmony, that coherence, and that's sort of course, what 432 does. It creates a coherence and a level playing platform for us all to gather again, you know, consciously. And that's just a most beautiful experience. I just remember the first time I went to Norway, I had a thing called Tears of Awe. Now you've had tears of joy, and you have tears that are sad, and you have tears that are heart-wrenching, but tears of awe are something quite different. And it's just such a humbling experience because of the beauty of Norway. But you have that in Ireland, but it's more unseen. It's still very beautiful and rugged and beautiful rolling. It's like Ireland is a goddess. If you looked at the island and looked at the shape of her, and she's like a goddess in flight, you know. And that is the essence of this land. So when you're connecting in with that goddess energy, and you're connecting in with your hearts and coming together, it is tears of awe again. It is.
Yay. Well, bless all of those who want to come and join us.
It's going to be amazing.
Yes.
It really is. It's going to be amazing. And, you know, I'll be absolutely delighted to join you for a couple of days and come and do some of those sound activations for anybody who would like to experience what we're talking about. It's pretty powerful stuff.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, it's a new level. The next level codes are coming in. So it's a real time to reconnect with this land, to come home.
Right.
Because this land is the heart of the goddess.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for joining me today.
It's short and sweet, darling, but I just know it's going to be an amazing trip. And of course, you'll be here at the highest point of light. So you're going to be here, and you're going to have the midnight sun. You know, you'll have you know, it's certainly still bright at midnight. You'll still be able to see the sun going down, and it's just such a magical time to come, and also to step up to one's soul mission and scroll work for, you know, doing the work here. It's important. So how many places do you have altogether?
We have 10 spots.
10. Okay. So now it's time to step up. Yeah, big time. And 10 with others, the trainers and teachers, that will be 12, 13 people coming in and out. So that's a lovely number, and very powerful number to work with the sacred sites and the energies there. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
It's exciting, very exciting. Well, wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me, Stellar.
My honor and pleasure, darling. My honor and pleasure, and wishing you all the best. Love you.